Hello friends and welcome to the Grave Detective channel. Today I'm standing at Clonfert Cathedral, located 60 kilometers east of Galway in Ireland. The grave we are visiting today is the grave of Saint Brendan.
Brendan, son of Finluc and Cara, was born around 484 in Tralee, County Kerry, in southwest Ireland. As a child, he was entrusted to monks for his religious education. As an adult, Brendan was ordained a priest at the age of 26. He then began a series of journeys to Western Ireland, southern Scotland, Wales, and Brittany, founding monasteries and monastic cells here and there. Between 512 and 530, he once again took to the sea for his most famous voyage. This journey is told in a manuscript written nearly 400 years later, the Navigatio Sancti Berendani Abbatis, the voyage of Abbot Saint Brendan. This text explains the following. Inspired by St. Barinthus' account on the promised land of saints, a lost island blessed by the Christian faith, Brendan embarks on a long voyage with 14 companions after a period of fasting and spiritual preparation. For 7 years, they sail the seas, visiting strange islands, some inhabited by silent monks, others populated by wondrous creatures. After numerous adventures during which the companions discover volcanic lands, actually reminiscent of Iceland, and even prey on the back of a gigantic fish they initially mistake for an island, they finally reach the promised land where they are briefly welcomed. Awe-struck by their discovery, they eventually return to Ireland, filled with joy. Obviously, this story is a spiritual narrative, woven with allegories and symbols. It is not a ship's log, but an adventure intended to inspire 8th century monks. And yet, behind the wondrous facade, there is something intriguing. Since the 20th century, several researchers have wondered if this account might have preserved real memories of sailing in the North Atlantic. 6th century Irish sailors were already sailing to the Hebrides, the Faroe Islands, perhaps even Iceland. And so, a doubt arises. Could this promised land of the saints be the American continent? Did Brendan actually cross the Atlantic Ocean? Historically and archaeologically, there is no evidence that Brendan actually reached America around 530 AD. But was such a voyage truly possible at the time? According to the Navigatio, for this expedition, Brendan used a small traditional Irish boat, a currach, a vessel made of wood and leather. So, in the 1970s, the British explorer Timothy Severin decided to build an identical boat. On the 17th of May 1976, Tim Severin and 3 others departed from the Dingle Peninsula in Ireland aboard their own currach. And 13 months later, on the 26th of June 1977, they arrived on Peckford Island, off the coast of Newfoundland, in Canada. Severin thus proved that the crossing was technically possible. But let's return to Brendan. After this legendary voyage, Brendan continued his work. He spent the decades 540 to 570 teaching the Christian faith and founding monasteries, including, around 557, the monastery of Clonfert, of which he became abbot. He died around 577 in Annachdown while visiting his sister Brigga. Fearing that his body would become a source of relics, Brendan had taken the initiative and arranged for it to be secretly transported in a luggage cart to Clonfert, where it was eventually buried. Canonized in 1284, his feast day is on the 16th of May, his story has fascinated and continues to fascinate. And so, on the Dingle Peninsula, the creek where it is said he left Ireland for his legendary voyage bears his name, Brendan Creek. It was also from this peaceful spot that Timothy Severin set off on his journey in Brendan's footsteps in 1976. In 1477, a little further north of the Dingle Peninsula in Galway, a young Christopher Columbus, then 26 years old, was walking on the shore, and there he became convinced of the existence of land beyond the Atlantic Ocean. According to some accounts, he saw fruits unknown in Europe carried by the ocean's currents. According to others, he saw a kayak containing the bodies of two deceased strangers, probably Inuits. The story of St. Brendan was very probably known to Columbus, and it may also have inspired his own voyage. The question still remains open today. Was Brendan the first European in America? Friends, thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope to see you soon for another video. Bye!